Yes, I know it's been a while since I made one of these, but as you all know, or those of you that follow Fez Night, I've been going through a bit of a bad patch. I mean, a really long. What is this bad patch going on about 4 years now? And when I'm feeling just stressed out or depressed, I don't, I don't want to post a Fez Night. I complain enough as much as it is. I complain too much as it is. Plus, when I have this worried mind, everything's all garbled. You know, some of my friends, some of my atheist friends, probably be critical of me or think I'm silly, but I pray a lot, and it helps me get through stuff. Pretty much my whole life, I've probably prayed all the time. Not like a real formal prayer kind of thing, but just sort of like a type of meditation, you know, talk to the universe, talk to God, hope things go well. I'll admit when things are going wrong, my prayer becomes more intense. But I try to thank God, thank the universe, thank the stars when things are going well, and I am grateful that I'm still here. I'm still here. And I've done some very, very foolish things. I mean, I'm really trying like hell. I don't want to lose this apartment. I don't want to move. And I've been doing some smart things and some foolish things in order to stay here. And no, that doesn't include working in the pickle park. In Riley's Pickle Park. No, no, won't do that. Although I do understand Jeff has financed his entire guitar collection working in Riley's Pickle Park. I don't know. Okay, well, I try not to joke around. No, Jeff, there is no Riley Pickle Park. There is no such thing. Um, it's funny, Jeff's sense of humor. Man. Sometimes just trying to shock people is not, is not funny. Yeah, more on that later. All right. I just thought I'd have to get that out of the way. That's why I haven't been posting for quite a while, and I said, well, I won't post until I really have some good news. I guess the only good news is that I'm still maybe not. It may not be good news for a lot of you, but it's good news for me is that I'm still here. And Timmy, Timmy, citizen fail. Yes, we should all take a lesson from Timmy on success. Succeed like Timmy. Yeah. See, that's why I shouldn't make Fez videos. When things are like this. Okay, anyway, the mind wanders. All right then. Let's get this show on the road. Greetings, fellow citizens. This is Citizen Kong, and welcome to another Fez Night. Tonight's Fez Night shall be called In for a Penny, In for a Fez. Well, let's see. I don't. It's just a stream of consciousness, is what Fez Night is. It's about the things that are on my mind. Every now and then I go back and I will rewatch a very old Fez Night, and I can't help. It is sort of like a diary, a blog and a journal, and I can go back and say, like, how little I've changed, and yet you can see change. I get grayer, I lose more hair. I stopped trying as hard. I used to really try hard, yeah. I don't try that hard as much anymore. But you know what? It's become more of a relaxed, honest Fez night. Hasn't it? Hasn't it, people? When you compare it to the early Fez nights. I want to give a shout out to Dr. Fives and Mrs. Victoria Fives. Mrs. Victoria Fives, I can already see that your influence has made Dr. Fives how should I put this? He is less of an inhuman monster than he was before. And pretty much, I think the old inhuman monster might go away completely. Oh man, but then that'll just ruin all the fun. Kind of an inside joke. I want to say hi to Wacky John. Wacky John, I know this has been like a long time since this happened, but Wacky John got really ill. He was so bad off that he had to go to the hospital. And from what I can gather, I mean, I don't know if he ever completely just laid it out what was wrong with him, but it had something to do with gastrointestinal stuff. You can ask him. I have to wonder, what have you been eating, man? Do you have, I mean, I don't mean to criticize, but we can avoid a lot of these troubles if we eat fiber and get some fresh fruits and vegetables. But I guess some of us are just predisposed to it. The woman that it shall not be mentioned, someone in her family, is just having chronic polyps in the colon and things, and pretty much she surmised that it was from a lifetime of eating nothing but fast food. Who knows? Sometimes there's a link, sometimes there's not. I just know that man, if you want to take care of your colon and your gut, avoid processed meats. I know, I love a hot dog now and then. I love bacon, but those are the worst. You know, the meats that are heavily processed, those are the worst for your gut, your bowel, all that. That's my cancer prevention tip for today, folks, on Fez Night. In for a penny, in for a fez. I probably won't post another one of these for a while. Anyway, I'm glad to see Wacky John seems to be much better now. And yeah, man, you know, we take our health for granted, and when something really, touch wood, I mean, I'm doing okay physically. But man, when you're sick and all that, something's really wrong with you. You're like, oh man, I want to be better again. I want to go back to where I didn't feel this all the time. So anyway, yeah, it seems like you're doing better. I don't know if it was a troll account or whatever, but John, Wacky John, he went and left a comment. I didn't even bother responding, but he left a comment on my old waterboarding video. And he said, I would like you to do that to me, but except use P. What? I know that Jeff and his sense of humor, yeah, he took my waterboarding video and made it look like I was getting pissed on by Frenchmen. I've suffered so much abuse from Jeff. He just so disrespects me. Which got me thinking, you know, and I'm thinking of that because this goes way back to when, and I'll post a link to, there was that series of videos. It all started with the Angry Dummy. No, it started with Jeff with the Leon show, saying that he was giving up leadership of the Network of Evil and then passing it on to the Angry Dummy, and then the Angry Dummy passed it on to me, but said I could not resign. The only way I could get out of being leader of the NOE was to be assassinated. And then Frank of the Mountain made a video, and I'm sure some of you, this is old news for a lot of you. Frank of the Mountain made a video where he used the, I forgot what the film clip is, but it's a famous, there's a name for it, the famous film clip of Kennedy being assassinated, you know, with there with Jacqueline, with Jackie Kennedy, and you know, it was Dallas, Texas, I believe. But he put me, citizenkong, in the seat, and then my head's in there, and Fez gets knocked off my head, and then that inspired Lisa of Delisa Productions to make a video. And I would like to post all the links, but I can't find him. Monk posted the edited Kong sanction thing. I watched it not too long ago. I went back, he had it on Facebook, and I went back on Facebook and I couldn't find it. So, but I'll post a link of my contribution, and anybody else watching, like Gordon and Tricia, they did, and the hat fell, and I don't know. If you're watching, you can post a link there. I don't know, too many links to post. But anyway, there is a dedication on my video to Gordon and Tricia. So at the end, so I think anyway, my brain, I can't. You know, it's bad enough I can't do my train of thought as it is normally, and it's even worse. That's why I don't post Fez nights when I'm dealing with this stuff. I can still go to work and drive a car and function and do things like that, but I can't. I don't know. It's just hard for me to do this. It's a struggle. So anyway, I'm talking about those series of videos that revolved around me being assassinated. So Monk, yeah, posted the Lisa's edited version, and I rewatched it. So I was getting a little bit sentimental about that period of YouTube that was really the most fun for me. And Jeff's contribution was Leon. I was being held captive in a bathroom in a tub, and Leon enters and proceeds to rape me up the ass, and then you can see Leon's cock rubbing blood on the shower curtain. And at the time, I was upset. And some people were telling me, well, don't be upset, it's all just fun and games. And okay, tell me. Go ahead, tell me again. I didn't have a right to be upset. I have a right to be upset. Okay, that's on me, right? Okay? I guess I could tell myself, no, don't be upset. And I was like, wow, where'd this come from? And so I've just come to know that there's a thing between us on YouTube, and there's just some of us that get that sort of abuse. But remember, Jeff is a Satanist. Okay, I have to remember that. Jeff is a Satanist, which means that when you're a Satanist, nobody else matters except yourself. You have to do what you have to do. And if somebody has a problem with it, or they like, let's say you step on their toes and they can't deal with it, or they have a problem with anything, that's because they're weak, okay? Because when you embrace Satan, it's all about you being strong and basically stepping over the weak. So I have to remember that. And so if I'm perceived as being the weaker one, then I am subject to abuse. And people keep this in mind when dealing with any Satanist in the world. I had a roommate that was a self-proclaimed Satanist. And it's pretty much the way it is. That's the philosophy, is every man for himself. And what needs to be done must be done. Disregarding, without any regards to anybody else. You have to watch out for yourself. Everybody else, if they can't deal with it, they're just suckers and losers. Okay, so I went back and I was re-butthurt all over that again because I was thinking about it. And I went back and watched some of the comments on Kong Escapes, and I remember Bonnie just still saying, "Well, this happened. You know, he did this to me in a puppet video, and he did that to me in a puppet video." I said, "Well, that's fine. If you're okay with it, that's fine." But at this point, I'm not okay with it. I think I'm more okay with it now. Jeff, go ahead, repost that video. Post it on Facebook. I'm sure you still have it. But other than that, for me, that was a really, really fun time. And so I rewatched. So when Monk posted that link, but I can't find it now. So it's Lisa's re-edited version, where she includes footage from before, and my footage, and Gordon and Trish's footage, and then she made some new material featuring more of herself and the assassin, and Killer Queen Carol. Even though there wasn't the real Killer Queen Carol, there was a stand-in. Body double, should I say? I know I'm going on about this much too much. But so I was rewatching that, and I have to say, such an excellent job on the editing Lisa did on that, and there was just, I mean, great job, okay? Great job, very tight, you know, very good camera editing, you know, back and forth. It's like, yeah, I have to say that Lisa, in collaborating with Pops, have made some really beyond what, you know, what's expected of us on YouTube. You know, the real, like, I mean, if they lived, probably not in their town or somewhere, but if they lived like in Los Angeles, I really think she could have got work doing something, you know, in the film or television. But anyway, that's why we're here. We're all amateurs. But I have to say, okay, now this comes the criticism. The part where I was going, what? You left Dr. Bender on the cutting room floor. That was like, he was the best part. And there was another thing, is that she made this joke. There was this gag about Citizen Kong. Oh, Citizen Kong's trying on fishnets. And then you watch the video, the one who's wearing fishnets is Pops, playing Killer Queen Carol. Now, talk about classic projection. Why do you want to put me in a pair of fishnets when it's Pops is the one who really does that, right? See, that's the thing. There's that projection thing going on. And by the way, Pops, and I know this was years ago, but the real Killer Queen Carol would not be caught dead in those shoes you were wearing. But your legs aren't half bad, by the way. Yeah. So, yeah. I think he shaves his legs. See, I have hairy legs. You want to see? I have hairy legs. I'm not some like, see, look, I got hairy legs. There's no wearing stockings for me. Head like a ham, body like a plucked chicken. Anyway, it was an excellent job on that, but there was just those minor things I had to say something about. I can't help it. Went back and revisited. So I've been spending, you know, YouTube is just so bad, you know, and we all complain and say it's like, you know, YouTube used to be, the motto was broadcast yourself, so it was more about us, it was about the amateur video person, but it was a terrible business model, which just goes to say is that when you run things, when capitalism fuels everything, you just don't get, not everything you get is good. And some really nice things go away. You can't, pure capitalism, the whole, you know, let the market decide what it's going to do, and don't. Something like YouTube would be great if it was like, maybe it was publicly funded, you know? Yeah, publicly funded YouTube. Because the profit-driven model is changed YouTube. It's changed it to where what they're trying to do is like compete with Netflix streaming and all that kind of stuff. There's a place where people go and get professionally produced content, or people aspiring to make, professional quality content. It's just, instead of just like for the people, yeah, that's socialist. That's, but it should be for the people. YouTube. Us, not them. Yeah, I think I hit on something. YouTube could be good again if it was publicly funded, not driven by profit. Anyway, I've been spending more time on Facebook, even though I hate Facebook, and a lot of the people that I know on YouTube, I know on Facebook, which is a weird thing, is because I don't promote any of my videos on Facebook. Which, by the way, I'm here to stay, even though I haven't been posting videos for a long time, and I probably won't be posting a lot until things get better. But I have like over 700 videos or something. My goal is to have 1,000 videos on the citizenkong channel. We'll see. I'll get busy and I'll just start posting videos like crazy to get to that 1,000 mark when things get better. I have to change all of my scooter today. I'm going to start riding my scooter to work. Actually, I rode it to work Friday. Hey, anything to save money, Good thing I have that backup scooter. Speaking of which, it's featured in Kong Escapes. Yeah, so I spend more time on Facebook. And I don't post my YouTube videos there because there's other people on Facebook. Is just a whole different animal. There's people on Facebook that I'm friends with that don't know anything about my YouTube life, and I would probably feel weird, them seeing some of the stuff that I'm involved with or I do on YouTube. Even this Fez Night could be kind of like, what the hell, Of course, I never post anything on YouTube, never have. It's always been a policy that if other people saw it, it wouldn't be the end of the world. I might have some explaining to do. Maybe an apology or two. Ask for forgiveness, but it would not be the end of the world. But anyway, some of the people that I run into on Facebook, Hugh, Methadone for Life, cheers, and Monk, of course, and Scott, Barfly Brooks, Frank of the Mountain, see him a lot on there, and I see Jeff doing his usual shocking things. I mean, Jeff, he posted a picture of a toilet with like an aborted fetus in it on Facebook. Plus, he's always recommending some really good reading from David Duke. Jeff, I love you. I don't know why I'm going on this, but, God, sometimes the way, I don't know how it is there where you live, but, what can I say? Do I sound like I thought we were friends kind of thing, in the beginning, but I should know better, We're still kind of friends in a way. I guess we tolerate each other. You tolerate me. I guess. But dude, man, some of the stuff you do. I guess some people love it. And I see Casey Nunez. I'm friends with him on Facebook, and Runnermouth, aka Dallas. God, those two though, man. Boy, do they post some racist stuff and some really hateful anti-Obama stuff. And I went back and I was rewatching, at least for me, and you know how much I criticized George Bush and how angry George Bush made me, and which really was fueled most of what I did on YouTube. And then when Obama was elected, it just really took the whole drive to be political was gone. And sure, I'll mention when things come up. I mean, it's an NSA thing I've mentioned before, that I'll be critical of the Obama administration where criticism is due. But I don't I was going back and looking at it, and I had nowhere near the hatred and vitriol and the just plain name calling and lying. Just lying, distorting the truth, taking the truth and twisting it into a lie that the anti-Obama people do. I never compared Bush to Hitler. I really don't. I don't ever remember doing that. There's somebody that came out with some rule or something. I came across it on the internet. And basically it's more of an internet rule, but it says, but it's beginning, it can apply outside of it, but it's sort of there in internet, like in Flame Wars. When you compare somebody to Hitler, you've lost the argument. You've lost the argument. It just shows you're an idiot. You're just grasping at straws. You'll just, oh yeah, no, he's Hitler. No, Hitler was Hitler. Or comparing something to the Nazis or something. I'll be aware of that too. I'm only saying in jest, when you friggin' Nazi. But no, seriously, you know, you just kind of show you're an idiot. All right, shout out to El Brookman. Hey, El Brookman. Poor guy. It looks like the last video, you're moving out to the country. Are you sure that agrees with you? I know I love the country, but it's like I would need to be rich and have two places. If I have to choose between one or the other, I'll pick the city. I do have this fantasy about living out in the middle of nowhere in the boonies and having this giant barn and then a little cottage like my cottage that I live in now. Because I don't need a whole lot of personal living space, but I would just love to have that barn. So when I find junk, I could stick it in there and have a workshop and just like make stuff and not have to worry about the room, you know. And I could be happy living out in the middle of nowhere. I just need some income. And then I would be happy. The pity is though that you kind of have to live close to the populated area to get income. All right, so this is a very boring, lethargic, rambling Fez night. And so for those of you that were wishing I would post another Fez night, ha ha. That's what you get. All right, everybody. Have a great week. And thank you for watching In for a Penny, In for a Fez. Cheers.